Okay, so Denise, you just came back from All-Star. Partially All-Star, because All-Star Weekend is still happening.
Right.
You did an event for Foot Locker.
I did back-to-back events for Foot Locker on Thursday, Friday, and then I did like a Saturday morning NBA like Facebook Live thing. But it was awesome. I've never been to Charlotte before in my life, and I had like every normal person check the weather, like what am I supposed to like wear? And it said it was literally the exact same weather that we're getting here in LA, which global warming is, are we cursing here? Freaking crazy. Yeah. Like just like, it's literally the fact that it's more in the east side and we're in the exact same weather temperatures is crazy. But anyway, it was fun. I took over Foot Locker and their IG stories, and I learned that the camera in the back of your phone is way better than the one on the front. The only difference is you can't see yourself, but the quality is way better.
That makes sense, because I feel like your angles,
Yeah.
I could see that. I'm like, this is not the same angle.
No, I think on the X, I hate the camera.
I do too. I have the X, and I think it's the worst camera
I agree.
of all of them that are currently
I have this
out.
one. This is an X here, but I heard the XMRS or something like that. That's the one we use to record the IG stories. Dude, freaking game changer.
Sounds like a CAT scan.
It does.
iPhone
Get an
XR.
MRI.
I thought they have an XR, XS, XRS. Like, I can't keep up.
But overall, awesome. I hooked up with some shoes. The shoes that I really wanted weren't in my size, which I feel like is a fairly normal thing. Like, I feel grade school and just girls get sometimes the shittiest designs. Like, I wanted the Cactus Jacks, Jordan 33s, and of course the Adapt BBs, and neither one of them were in my size, but I did come up on the patent ones and like some Forces, and I brought a bag just to buy shoes, so it was a successful trip.
I would agree.
It was a successful trip. And then as far as like, you guys got a chance to actually see the show, right? Like the dunk contest and stuff like that?
I did. I saw it. I thought it was great. It was one of like the best dunk contests in a very, very long time.
It wasn't boring. Why is a dunk contest normally boring in like the past? Like the past 2 or 3 years, it's been so fucking boring. Like just easy dunks. I was excited to see J. Cole dunk, even though he missed it.
Okay, I'm sorry, and I'm probably going to get a lot of backlash for this comment that I'm about to say, but every time I see J. Cole, as of recently, like, he's really just like a man in the woods. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
Oh,
That's
he's
not even...
so like, he
yeah,
hasn't cut his hair in forever.
He's like Jesus.
Not even dreading it, like
legit
completely.
Jesus vibes.
Yeah, like
yeah,
just
I
letting
love Jesus
it.
vibes.
Yeah. Does that speak to you?
He lives in
I
North
like it.
Carolina though, right?
He's from North Carolina.
No, but he's living there now.
Well, I don't know if he is, but I'm sure. No, I wouldn't doubt if he has a home.
I think it's like a thing. Like, no, I think he's like, I'm not with the LA bullshit. Like, I live in North Carolina.
Good for him, man. Listen, I like Charlotte. I was gonna say Charlotte, Spanish side, but I liked Charlotte. It was beautiful. The weather was great. The people were great. The party scene was great. I'm not even a party person, so the fact that
they have nice beaches in North Carolina.
You're the second person to tell me that, and I'm very ignorant because I was like, "There's beaches in Charlotte."
They're like East Coast beaches, so it's not like
it's not
the Caribbean.
There's like beaches in Texas.
They're nicer than
that though, because it's right on the side,
mm-hmm.
but Charlotte's right in the middle.
Yeah, they're nice. They're like
You've been to Charlotte before?
Yeah, but my mom gets a beach house for like a couple weeks, usually every year.
Is it warm water?
No.
Oh.
It's not like Caribbean water.
But you can still like have fun.
But
there,
it's
like cold. That's all I need to know.
Wild horses.
Yeah, I can see that. And you know what's even crazier about Charlotte? That everything.
It's not Charlotte. Like I'm gonna text her and see what the name of the
well, while you do that, it's in LA the traffic is like. You're averaging a good like 35-40 minute ride wherever you're going. It could be like anywhere between 5 to 9 miles. It's expected.
Mm-hmm. It's 4 o'clock.
And now it's 4 o'clock. So it's expected, right? And when I was over there, I would have multiple Uber drivers tell me, "Ooh, it's about a 15-minute drive. Let me see if I can get a faster route." He's like, yeah, super pressed. They're like, let me see if I can get a faster route. There's a lot of traffic. This is rush hour right now, ma'am. And I'm just thinking like,
15 minutes.
What? I was like, oh, no, sir, it's okay. Don't worry. I'm in no rush. They're like, no, like, this is terrible. Don't worry, I know a shortcut. So this guy literally, like, avoids the freeway. And by the way, the freeway, you've seen the 405 in, like, the worst times. It's literally, like, a bloodstream. And this was, like, it was moving. You know, I was like, okay, we're really avoiding this. Okay, no big deal. So we take this different route. And he got us there in, like, 13 minutes. And I told him in those 13 minutes, I was like, you know, I'm from Los Angeles. Like, it's a 30, 45-minute drive if you're going anywhere from 5 to 9 miles. He's like, oh, no. See, that's why I don't like LA. He's like, I just get completely annoyed and just, I would be a wreck if I had to be in a car for that long. I was like, well, I mean, it's a pretty good ride money that you can get from that. But yeah, the traffic scene. The traffic scene was crazy.
That's what we need, more drivers.
Right. Yeah, overall, I think so far the All-Star games, well, not games, but the dunk contest was really, really good. And they brought out
Skills
Shaq,
challenge
they
was
brought
good
out Quavo, they brought out Cole. It was good.
Skills challenge was good too. Yeah, I think this has been definitely one of the more entertaining All-Stars for sure. Sneaker side, NBA side, talent side, it's definitely been a good one.
How's the crowd?
How's the energy out there?
Yeah.
You know what? It's interesting because I had this conversation with one of my buddies. Obviously, LA sneakerheads, New York sneakerheads, Miami sneakerheads, little that they are there. No diss to Miami, but I just feel I rarely meet Miami homies that are sneakerheads. So when I do, it's like, oh, dude, that's pretty dope. Anyway, I feel like we take it for granted. Like in LA, we can be snobs. Like you can literally have a pair of sneakers that haven't dropped yet and won't drop for another 2 weeks, and you're just like, everyone has it already, right? And you take it for granted. You go to Charlotte, and these people, like I was wearing my not for resale Jordan 1s, and they were like mad excited, like just overall overly hyped. These shoes dropped in November. And they were just like super excited for these sneakers and appreciated it in the best way. So it's almost like, damn, like such a refreshing feeling. The crowd was like high energy. They weren't embarrassed. They weren't like too good for anything. They were just like there for the fun, there for the good vibes. I loved it. I want to go back.
Wow.
Is it like in HBCU during what's that week where everybody's like
homecoming?
Homecoming.
I've never been to HBCU or for homecoming or just
me
regular.
either, but I just have a picture of it in my head.
I guess no. I mean, I would say no, just because it wasn't like there weren't groups of people. I feel like when I imagine there's what?
More Caucasians, like in
Really?
Or maybe it's South Carolina.
I think
probably very ignorant with the.
No, but I feel like the kind of crowd that All-Star attracts, I would think
it's definitely urban.
Yeah,
it's definitely urban. But no, I wouldn't compare it to an HBCU. It's urban but very diverse. For whatever that's worth.
Yeah.
It's urban but very diverse.
I've never been to an All-Star.
You didn't go to the one last year in LA? You saved yourself, actually.
I didn't go out. I was like, it's gonna be like a shit show.
It was exactly that.
Yeah.
You missed out on just terrible traffic, overcrowded lines,
and I don't
sneaker snobs.
Spending money on outfits and things.
Dude, it was honestly like pretty bad. It was so bad. Last year was so bad when it was in LA. I was hosting an event for Mountain Dew in downtown, and traffic was so terrible. They had to send a runner to get in my car while it's in the middle of traffic to move my car while I get out of my car and run to the event so that we can just like get this going, because I was stuck there. We were not moving.
Wow.
That's what you missed out on. So, not
But
much.
you know what? If I was somebody that was like super into basketball or sneakers,
yeah, you could get a little.
I would get super excited, I feel.
Yeah, you do get excited because you see your favorite players, and they're like in super happy spirits, because they're not competing. They're just there to show out, have some fun, meet the fans, do like their sponsor work. So they're in the best of spirits you could ever meet them. Because there's nothing worse than meeting your idol on like their worst day. Because it just
It's
like
true.
messes everything up.
I have like so many friends of mine who have told me stories of like when they met Kobe for the first time, like when they were a kid, and it was like, no, I'm not really trying to sign any autographs.
It
And
just
it's
messed them up.
And they remember it from like when they were 8 or 9 years old.
Messed them up.
Someone told me that they saw Kobe at that Starbucks on, somewhere in Beverly. It might have been a Starbucks or just some coffee shop in Beverly Hills, and that he was wearing like something with his jersey number. Like he wasn't trying. Not that you could go incognito anyway, but
like 99 or something.
No, like.
It was like recent? Are they sure that it was Kobe?
Right, was it another tall black man that
right,
was trying to
Beverly Hills.
Black people look the same.
Right. It's like Beverly Hills, Starbucks. Dang, I can't.
I don't know.
Watch it say like Kobe doesn't drink coffee.
Right.
He could have gotten
True.
Okay, so I just have one question, just because I feel like every time I think of All-Star, I automatically am like, oh, all the girls are getting ready. Mm-hmm. They're getting ready to find the basketball player. Like they're just like wearing Sunday's best.
There's a Drake sign. There's a Drake lyric that's like All-Star Weekend. I think it's in Houston, Atlanta, Vegas. Which, by the way, thank God we finally got it.
Got what?
Oh shit! I thought you were just gonna get it.
Houston, he did hit the release.
You did get it.
But that was like the Drake that I used to like that.
Exactly, and we
those
finally have
songs like made me like Drake.
See, man, Skylar almost played me. I was a little scared.
No, but I just thought like, why is it a big deal that they bundled it up? The songs were still available.
No, they're not. The mix, like a small mixtape was, but the actual album wasn't on there.
Yeah, I got my listens in.
I did too.
But yeah, Houston, Atlanta, Vegas, yes. And what was your question?
Oh no, I was just saying like every time I think of All-Star, I'm just like, yes, the girls, they're ready. They're ready to find their next meal ticket. But it also gets me thinking like, you working in the industry that you work in, like you're obviously in a heavily male-dominated world. Mm-hmm. Does that like intimidate you to think twice before you date somebody in your world? Or like, what's your stance on that?
Well, I grew up with brothers, and for a long time I hated it. I always wanted a sister, but I feel like that definitely conditioned me to work or to like excel in a male dominant environment. In the sense that yes, if I work with someone within the industry,
because let me just pause you. You are always around like the best basketball players. Like any girl who's on your Instagram is probably envying the fuck out of you. Like
yeah, they think that it's like, oh man, if I was her, I would have been like locked this down. Not the case, boo. That's like never the case. One, if you come across as that girl, it's like you lose so much credibility, professionalism, all the work that you've put in is to the fucking trash. Like, excuse me, but just like overall, just horrible. And so, no, it's never that easy. Two, I don't know. I just feel like I'm definitely where I'm supposed to be in the sense that I'm not used to working in a female environment. So, you guys have known me for some time now. So it's like, I'm very comfortable working in a field where we're talking about sneakers and we're talking about sports. And I'm not feeling like you're flirting with me. And if you're flirting with me, I get uncomfortable where I'll probably tell you like, just
How do you deal with someone coming on to you?
Well, I feel like I've been very lucky where people have been just very direct. Maybe because they just think I'm an oblivious person. So they're very direct.
Right.
And I'm
like,
just like...
direct in the sense like, oh, let's hook up?
No, like I would like to date you.
Oh, okay.
I feel like it could be a little uncomfortable because working in the boxing world, I've definitely been in circumstances where I'm like in the middle of an interview with a fighter and it's like you feel those vibes, but it's like
they're like psyching you
kind
up.
of want to like divert and just like talk about something else, or like you just want to hurry up with the interview and just like part your ways and be done with it. So it's like I completely understand like how it would be uncomfortable.
Yeah,
if
it's
somebody
super uncomfortable.
There.
Because you almost feel like, oh, man, bud, you're not even listening to me. Like you're looking at me, but you're not listening. You're hearing me, but you're not listening to me. So
And
then it's like kind of like a lack of like you don't have enough respect for me to get through this interview, and then like whatever,
like,
and then at least wait until it's over to shoot your shot. But like
that's why dating in the industry is
so
tough.
for the athletes listening, which probably are none
Have
right
some
now, but
effing respect.
have some respect.
Yeah.
Or just
Not
not
every
even
girl wants
athletes,
you.
not even athletes, just any male where it's like, you know, you're heavily populating this industry. Like, don't make the very small group of women working in that world feel uncomfortable. It's just-
Right. Like, you probably have a list of women that are really willing to take all the uncomfortableness that you have to offer. The small circle of women that you work with and you have to see on a regular basis, or honestly, even if you see someone on an annual basis, that's still fairly regular. Don't jeopardize that. Like, hey, bud.
Keep it professional.
Keep it professional. If you feel like the vibes that you're giving off are being like reciprocated or just collected in a great way, by all means, but you have to read that well.
But what if one person has chemistry, Bill's chemistry?
There's never
and
chemistry
there's
with just one thing. Then it's
Yeah.
just a liquid or an element.
Oh. I mean,
What,
I don't
okay,
know.
well, what is your stance on
Because
it? Do
I
you date
feel-
people? Do you think it's okay to date people in your industry? And I mean,
I think
not
it's
just
okay.
your industry, because then it's like you have like Cardi B and Offset, you
Right.
have like a Quavo
Exactly.
and
It can
a
work out.
Saweetie, and
I
it's
think
like
a lot of people, no matter what you do, whether you could be, you know, in real estate, you know, a flower arranger, whatever,
Right.
like, I just feel that's how you meet people and you spend a lot of time with these people.
Facts.
And you have a lot in common if you are in the same industry. Therefore, it is kind of a natural thing to happen. I don't think it's
They relate
taboo.
with you like no other.
Yeah, I don't think it's taboo. I think it just is up to the individual.
Yeah.
So if you feel like it's not beneficial to you or it's not something you're comfortable with, then don't date in your industry.
What's your
But I
experience
don't-
dating in the industry?
I wouldn't. I mean, there's not really many options for me anyway. You know.
That's fair. That's fair. Would you be open to dating someone that has experimented? Straight, but experimented.
Probably not.
That's
for
fair.
me. Only because.
And I say it's fair because I agree, but it's not fair. You know, for whatever.
It's, I mean, it
I'm
depends
biased.
on like the level of experimenting. Like, were you 5 years old and measuring each other's penises?
No, like they were in college and they were like, "Yo, you know,
Or
like, do
were
me
you
this
an
favor."
adult in like in
or
a full on
the
relationship?
story you were just telling us
Like
about
on,
the abducted in
Abducted
plain
in plain sight. Like if he was an
Oh
adult,
yeah.
like, yo, can you just help me
No, because you
get
have
my arousal off?
more than the whole like him, you know, stimulating, you know, another man's penis. I think the fact that he was so easily manipulated, that's what's the turn off to me. In that
So you would go out
situation.
with the guy that gets
that receives the pleasure but doesn't give the pleasure.
You guys are twisting my words. So why are you saying that? I think
This is an important question though. This is very important.
I feel like she's teeing you up for something else. and
I'm not. Which
I'm-
one would you go out with? Tell me.
I wouldn't go out with. I wouldn't, if knowing the information beforehand, I'd probably just say no.
To
If-
both?
To both.
Okay, that's fair.
But if like you are, you know, already in it with somebody like years, and then this comes out, like you're not gonna throw your relationship away, are you? I don't know.
I don't know because it's like I
Yeah,
thought
what do you do? You're
What
dating
do you
somebody
do?
and
if it
then
comes
like
out, I'd be like, why didn't you tell me this?
I would go to therapy. I would say.
Yeah, let's go to therapy. I agree.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work after therapy, then you know what? This
Because
wasn't meant to
I
be.
just want to. I feel like there's a spectrum, right? Like I don't think. I feel like.
I mean, I
For
feel like
sexuality?
once you jump over the fence, you're over the fence. Like
No.
That's fair. That's a good way to put it. But everyone's different. Like, you know, just because we're not open-minded doesn't mean there's not an open-minded girl,
Oh no!
you know?
Like I am not. I'm open-minded as long as it doesn't like relate to me. You know, if it's somebody else's situation, I'm not gonna judge them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. So, like, you're open-minded. Like, if Jane here, who's not present, was to say, like, oh, you know, me and my husband, we've been going out for some time, and he used
does
to,
it with dudes.
He used to, oh, he does it. What, okay. Hey, it's different.
No, okay. I know a girl,
Oh,
and
shoot.
we're kind of friendly.
Like, friend?
No,
Oh, okay.
no. We're like friends. We're not like close friends, but I'm acquainted with her.
Gotcha.
So
Denise is an instigator for the record.
I did not. I'm like the voice of the people that are like question marks. Like,
but we were at the barbecue and she brought this guy And then they just seemed super into each other. And then a couple weeks later, you know, we're having a conversation, and she's like, yeah, he told me he's bisexual.
That's a tough one.
So she broke up with him.
Okay.
And he was kind of bummed and like was pursuing her. I just, for me, maybe I'm just not secure enough in myself to be like, oh, you know, you're having a guy's trip, and not to think anything more of it. You know what I mean?
I'm not secure enough either.
Yeah,
I'll say
like,
proudly, this is not going to work out.
I'm an insecure person. I'm just super insecure. When it comes to, like, I mean, if that's what that means, if that's the bottom line, then so be it.
Right. Like, if I can fall behind the insecure card, I'll do it proudly. Yeah. But it's only because I don't want to feel like I'm competing with everyone in the world here. Like, I mean, the next thing I need, you know, so, but at the same time, that doesn't surprise me that he was sad after, you know, they ended things, because it's like, I forget what the lead singer's name of Queen is, right? Mm-hmm. And he had a bisexual relationship, or he was bisexual, but he loved his girl. Like, he loved her, he adored her. Like, he didn't have a relationship with anybody else like the one that he had with her. But at the same time, he needed to, you know, fill his needs in other departments. Okay, so and when he was like in his dying days, all he wanted was his girl there with him, and she was there until he passed.
My only issue with that story, your friend's story, is if you're bisexual, just come out with it from the jump. Right. I feel like everybody is like so afraid to be their authentic self from the jump, but at the same time it's like we're fighting for like equality, and like we're fighting for like free speech, like all these like very important matters. But it's like, if you're bisexual, like be clear and own it from the jump. Like he can't be sad after she leaves him, because it's like he had the opportunity to tell her from the beginning.
I mean, I don't think he was jumping off a building or anything like that over it. I think it was more so like he was disappointed. And I think that might be a hard thing for someone to just say on a first date. Yeah. You know, a couple weeks lost. How long was it going out for? It's not a big deal. I think just a few weeks. Okay. It wasn't like they invested a lot of time.
Well, listen, from experience, going out with
someone
for like
know,
days
like,
and weeks,
for me, it would be, yeah, that's true, because you can fall in love in a matter of days.
You can fall in love in a matter of days, so you don't even know what to say. Like, I feel like I'm in a situation where things are I'm in a freeway in the carpool lane, so it's like, how do you get everything that you want to say without stopping?
For me, I would want to know before we are into, like, it would be like before sex.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's just that's like fair. You're purposely holding on to this information, and you know it.
You're jeopardizing my own personal sexual well-being.
That's fair.
Like that, you know.
That's true. That's a good point. I like that.
Well, this is a terrible segue, but since we're kind of somewhat on the topic, I do have to bring up the most recent thing that's been going on with Jussie Smollett. I mean, there's a lot of evidence that's like coming out about him being in on it. There's alleged evidence that shows that he's been in on it. There's purchases made. Like,
fill people in on what the deal is for those that haven't heard.
So the deal is that Jussie was attacked in Chicago a couple
guy from
weeks
Empire.
ago.
He's been on the news.
Light-skinned guy from Empire.
And he's gay in real life, as he is on the show. Right. So he was apparently walking, you know, from getting food somewhere, and was attacked by two guys.
Subway.
God, Subway came up. You like Subway cookies.
I do like Subway cookies, so if you want to go ahead and sponsor the glass table, let us know. But yes, he was walking from Subway and was attacked by two guys. He said that they were two white guys wearing MAGA hats, and it was a hate crime. Mm-hmm. And immediately, everyone, I feel like, rose to the occasion and stood behind him because of the little bit of details that we were receiving, and like people just kind of supporting him.
Yeah.
Now, there's evidence saying that the whole thing was staged. There's a person who was involved that was a part of the cast or had been to the studio. Mm-hmm. Again, this is all very alleged, but he was in on it, and there's more stories that are kind of developing. But now at this point, it's kind of like people are assuming that he staged this.
Like, basically,
and part of the attack is, you know, he had a noose around his neck, bleach, you know, splashed on him.
There was chemical thrown on him. And apparently now that he's been out in interviews, there seems to be like no real visual things, but like a cut.
Can we also say how surprising it is that he decided to come forward on Good Morning America? Like, since when did Good Morning America become like the revelation, like, show? Like that
Well,
guy.
Wendy Williams is no longer like doing her show, and I feel like people.
Liam guy, he freaking cleared, like said like, okay, like I had racist thoughts, but I'm not a racist. Like on Good Morning America, now you have like.
Oh, that's another
Jussie,
thing that, you know.
Jussie using, but I'm saying like, since
Yeah.
when did Good Morning America become the platform to like, yo, just be honest here?
Right.
When I think Good Morning America has been, didn't George Bush go on to say, I don't hate Kanye?
Was that on
Did
Good
it?
Morning
Yeah,
America?
I think it was Good Morning America.
Or was that like CNN? Anyway, while you're looking that up, it's just so from what we were talking about off air is that basically he was doing this, or his team did this, or the group of individuals who were behind this did this because they were trying to bring some attention to a bill that's trying to get passed. My whole thing is, this is such a desperate measure. I said this before, like this is like having a freaking solid lineup on Uno, and then you have a wild card. It's like you only use that when you have really shitty options, and you just use that right away. Like you really went desperate here.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't even take advantage of the cards that you had. You literally just went, screw it, we're going big. Like what bill is this? 2, why so much desperate attention to it?
But why are we so quick to automatically assume it's for the bill? Why can't we assume that this guy, whoever attacked him, even if it was this one guy that was on the set, you know, or worked on Empire.
Well, no one attacked him.
Or that no one attacked him, or even if this guy did, that he was just plotting to attack him. Like, why? People hate people. There are some really sick people out there. Why don't we think that? You know what I mean?
Because of the evidence that's come out.
But the evidence is also saying people plan attacks.
People get framed. That is true. But
I'm not. No. I feel. What if this guy was really twisted, or
and what guy
really
is this, by the way?
The guy that attacked Jussie, or allegedly attacked Jussie.
So
But no one attacked him.
So to be clear, do you
I mean, it
believe
could
that
be
this was
either
staged,
or.
or do you think that this was a random attack?
I'm not. I believe it could be staged. I don't believe it was a random attack. If he was attacked at all, I believe the people planned to attack him. Like, knew where he was going to be or followed
Facts.
him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean?
I do agree with that.
Because they were looking for him. Aren't you that empire,
No.
whatever?
Okay.
is
I agree
what they
with
were
that.
saying.
I agree with that in the sense that if he was attacked. But
If
he
he
was
wasn't-
not attacked.
But we don't know for
But
sure.
we do.
Okay, but I have
Slightly.
probably a bigger question in all of this. I feel, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like Jussie is not that big of a star to where he would be targeted for a hate crime like this.
I
like
agree.
him walking around
Yeah.
down the street, like I don't think the common average person is like, oh my god, that's so and so from Empire. Like if
Especially
you're gonna
like,
stage something like that
MAGA
for
people,
Yeah.
or KKK people.
You're gonna go
they're
for somebody with a
and
higher
they're not sitting
status.
at home watching Empire. I'm sorry, like
Right.
they don't.
They're
know
not.
you.
Exactly.
They're
So
not.
it's like that's why I believe that it wasn't him just walking from Subway and got attacked randomly. I don't think in Chicago he has the notoriety to even be recognized like that in the middle of the night.
And since when
I
did
mean-
Subway breed psychos? Like, oh man, like he's coming out of a Subway. There's definitely gonna be like some freaking bad people that are gonna attack him. Like,
I
Everything
no, that's
was
what
just
I'm
perfect.
saying.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like it doesn't add up to me. I don't know if he did hire these people, but I also want to believe that he might have been a pawn in a bigger chess.
That's what
game.
I'm
Like
saying.
he was
So,
a
like,
move.
Or even
That's
let's
fair.
just say he was attacked by the guy that they're saying that was a part of. That was, what was he, an extra on Empire?
I think he just was like someone who would come to the set frequently.
Okay, and so say for whatever reason he has this weird obsession with Jussie and wants to like
right,
beat him
super
up,
fan.
whatever.
Like if you
And-
can't have me, no one. If I can't have you, no one can.
Right.
Okay.
Beats him
Yolanda
up.
Saldivar,
Beats-
Selena's killer.
Okay.
Sorry.
He beats him up, and then he calls Lee Daniels. And
Weird
is like,
already.
Yes.
and it's like, this is what happened to me. But he recognizes the guy from the set, so he doesn't want to get anybody who means something to somebody in trouble.
So Stockholm syndrome,
No.
but he's never met that person.
Not Stockholm syndrome, just what should I do?
I'm sorry.
And then they make it. Into
How old is
something
Jussie? How old is Jussie?
else. We know age doesn't mean anything.
It means absolutely nothing, but it does mean this. How did you get past
He's 36.
How did you get past 36 years of life and fucking not learn basic life skills? If something happens to you,
You call 911.
You don't talk about someone's reputation.
No, I'm not.
The only way I would call somebody before 911
is if I'm guilty and I'm like, oh shit, I just fucking did this.
What do you mean? Tell me more.
Like if I got something happened to me, then I
you would call your mate. Okay, yeah.
And then
No, the only time I would call someone that's not the police, screw that. I would not call anybody because you know why? I'm a selfish ass person. Like, save me. Police, call, backup. I'm dying.
Figure the rest out later.
My fam will get this.
Was still around his neck.
So why?
That is crazy. You're right. You know what? Whatever. I'm trying to like.
That brings up
You're
another.
trying to play devil's advocate, which I
And
can
we
appreciate. But
I don't want to believe somebody would go this far to like
bring attention to.
Did anybody see the Terrence Howard interview shortly after it happened?
No.
Okay, so he had an interview. I think it was like a couple days after, and everybody
after the news broke that he
after
was
the attack happened.
Oh, after the attack.
The alleged attack happened, and people were in the comment section, and they made really good points. But one of like the things that I noticed right away is like even Terrence, when he was doing the interview, he didn't sound convinced. Like his responses were just very vague. Like, oh yeah, I talked to him, or I talked to his people, and he's good. Like there was no definitive details. It just sounded like
Terrence,
he was there to just kind of like play along with the whole thing and just let everybody know, like, oh, he's good, like, just to support the story.
Oh, I thought you were gonna twist it into like, he didn't want to be connected to this because there weren't enough details. So I thought he was going straight savage mode.
Or maybe
and like,
that.
I don't know, so I don't care.
It could be that.
God
also.
bless him.
Because
I would like to see somebody sit down with him and like.
Good Morning America, baby, it's coming. That's the platform.
But you know what? I feel like it's a platform for whatever guests to say what they want to say. It's not the platform for like a really hardcore.
Do you think about that?
No, it's been always. It wasn't the whole thing when George Bush was like, oh.
Oh yeah, did you figure that out?
Yeah, it was Good Morning America, right?
Well, I don't know for sure, but it looks like Hollywood Reporter broke the news of the remarks that he made.
For Bush?
But Kanye was on the Today Show with Matt Lauer. And Kanye was the one who said,
I thought Today Show was part of Good Morning America. Like, I thought it was under the same umbrella.
I don't even watch those shows, but like, yo, God bless them. They're coming up.
Pro CNN.
Good Morning America, dude. Good Morning America.
I feel like it's on every television at 10
But I don't watch it,
Not, and
most
I'm
of
not
America
does.
Clearly, because
Good Morning America.
Well, shout out
like
to
I go into the gym in the morning and it's on the big screen TV.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
Good Morning America is on there. That's a
Yeah.
good point. CNN is on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, that's that. Good luck, Jussie. I mean, I don't know. I'm glad that
We need
really
to get
hurt.
more information, but I feel like this also kind of raises a bigger issue of us as just like the audience. We're so quick to back somebody without knowing the full story, and I feel like
it's better to be that person than to be the person that's like, nah, he's lying. Like, prove me wrong. Like, I want to be good.
But statistics show that
Yeah.
86% of people get their news from social media now.
Oh, for sure.
So it's like there's so many things that you could put on social media that are false, or you can just have like a ton of ghost accounts and like start pushing out information to where people are like starting to believe it because it's trending.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, well, this is what I'm reading. This is what everybody's saying. And it's like people are now manipulating social media to their advantage.
Right.
And it also just kind of like forces you to think like maybe us as the audience, like we need to be more empowered to find out more information before we're quick to like take a side on something. Because it's like the black America, like we back Jussie just because he's black. Like that's what it was. We didn't need to know any other details. It was like he was attacked in Chicago.
Or
like
the LGBTQ community as well. And I also think though, it's like a human thing too. If you have a half of a heart, you are going to, support
look at the glass
them.
half full.
You know what I mean? Any hate crime. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, I do agree with you in the sense that, we definitely have to like do more research before that happens. But when it's something as sensitive as that, and also let's keep in mind the times that we're in.
Right.
It's a lot more, like I don't even care about the facts. I care that you're hurt and you're in the hospital and you remind me a little bit about myself in whatever matter that is. So I'm going to back you up as much as I could. Now, did I go live and say, man, God bless us? No, absolutely not. But that's only because I do that internally. Like I did feel bad that this guy was attacked in public.
You put yourself in that position
You
for
think,
just
it
a
could have happened
moment.
to anyone.
Could have,
It could have happened to a friend. It could have happened to.
I was gonna walk to 7-Eleven and I thought twice, like there might be hate crimes there. You know, like, and it's nighttime.
And then it was a place like Chicago, which is, you know, obviously
And that's why
has
it
a large
was so
African
easy
American
for people
community.
to just like believe it, because it's like, and I don't want to say like, oh yeah, Chicago is the perfect place to stage this, quote unquote, but it's like it kind of is.
Why? Like, to me, in my mind, I don't think of Chicago with a bunch of MAGA hat writers.
Because the thing about it is the violence in Chicago is so high, and it's like.
But isn't it black on black?
It's a lot of black on black.
The police aren't doing a lot to protect the black community, so it's like a situation like this. Like there was reports that were saying that the police department weren't trying to put a lot of attention on this,
right?
And it's like that can go to like, oh yeah, Chicago cops don't give a fuck about black people type of thing.
Well, here's another plot twist. Maybe whoever did their minimal research on scouting a location for this staged act, they were like, what's a city that has a high crime rate? Not even taking into account the type of crime rate, because it's true, the highest crime rate is, you know, internally within the community. It's not even like a hate crime. It's just like crime. It's a war.
Yeah. Right.
It's black on black crime. And so like maybe they just thought, okay, Chicago has a high crime rate. They're definitely more likely to have something like this happen. Not even taking into account that the maybe, for what I know, and I haven't checked stats, so don't quote me, but this is just like a hypothetical. The hate crime rate in Chicago could be like at 10%. You know, like it's like the chances of it happening are
but that's
small.
what I'm saying is like regardless crime, and it's like it's easy to believe. You don't question it because the news has like made it very abundantly clear that
and he's a
Chicago,
nice guy.
Exactly. So it's like in hindsight, it's like if you really think about it, it's like they try to do everything to not make you second guess it.
Right.
And that's the whole point. If you're staging something, you want to do something that seems like so like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Even if you were at the table discussing like how can we get this bill passed, whatever their motivation was to do this, wouldn't you feel like, okay, we want to help our community. If, you know, something goes wrong, we're going to do more damage than good.
All right. No, I mean,
because now when there's a real hate crime, it's going to be harder to prove it, because here we had all the checks, a noose around my neck.
We didn't even need checks.
Yeah.
We didn't even need checks.
But that's what I'm saying. Like here, you know, you think you're tying up every loose end.
Yeah. But the plot twist is, with all of this, is the fact that Jussie hires Michael Cohen's criminal defense lawyer.
Right.
And
come on, didn't you watch Law and Order?
If you are a victim in this, why are you hiring a defense attorney? So it's like there's so many things, and it's like his actions are leading people to question it. You know, it's not a rumor. It's like it's true that this person is his lawyer.
I'm not gonna like say that, because you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. If police are questioning him and stuff like that, like I would feel, regardless of whether I'm innocent or not, because the system is so effed up, I'd want to hire a lawyer.
100%. But if you watch Law and Order, you know it's common sense. You don't get a defense attorney yet. Maybe you do, but you don't even go like high profile. Maybe you just get someone that's like sitting in your place, and then you talk to a high-end defense attorney.
And you tell it's the politics behind it. It's like there's a bill that needs to be passed, quote unquote, and then you're hiring such a high-profile political person's attorney,
right?
To where it's like, how do you even know, or how do you even have connections? Not to say he doesn't, but how do you even have connections to hire a Michael Cohen's attorney? Like you're just an actor on Empire. And it's like maybe he does have people behind the scenes within the industry who knows, but it just seems like a little too coincidental to me. Like you could have hired any attorney, but it's like there's a bill that allegedly needs to be passed, and all of a sudden you're hiring an attorney who repped such a powerful political person with all this stuff going on. So, I mean, TBD on this.
Good luck, Jussie. I mean, we're gonna, the way that things work.
I don't want it to be fake. I really don't, because it would breaks my heart that they felt like they needed to go that extreme.
Well, it's a good thing that it wouldn't be the first time your heart breaks, because it looks like it might be the case.
I mean,
It might be fake.
it's been broken a few times.
It's okay. Mine
I
has
can
two.
handle
We'll
it.
survive. We'll survive. But it's looking like not good.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we hope that all of the broken hearts are healed someday.
I mean, the way that social media
I-
works,
you know what?
time span, we're gonna get over this in like a couple
We
weeks.
will.
I'm already over it. Like, he's annoying me.
He is. He's stressing you out. He's not even with you. It's awful.
Right.
His existence right now, just like,
Yeah.
go away.
I don't even think he's ever evoked this much emotion for me.
I didn't
Not
even
even on
know.
Empire.
Yeah.
Great acting.
I mean, subpar.
I mean, you feel a type of way.
Right.
That's what actors do. He's great.
If he was great, we would believe him.
We did. So
We did.
No.
all of America did.
Initially, we
We
believed
believed
him.
the news
Now,
outlets that reported the story
No.
to us. We did not believe him.
No, we believed him because when he sent out a message saying, "Hey guys, I'm okay. You know, I'm gonna get past this." As a
We're
people,
rooting.
they didn't break
We're
my
rooting.
spirit. He released a statement that said they're not gonna break my spirit.
But look, can we pull up the statement? Because I feel like there was something in that statement that he said
That was all positive.
that made me
nice
feel
guy,
like,
getting hurt.
okay, that's weird.
No way, dude! You're the devil's advocate, man. You're still in like I believe in mode.
yeah, you are.
No, I'm meaning that's weird. Like, I just thought I just felt it was weird. I didn't think it was like false at the time, or I didn't think of course I believed it. I just thought it was weird. Like it's.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought it was all honest. I was like, damn, this guy's hurt. I'm glad he's okay though. And then look at this. Look at the news that breaks. Now this is why I have trust issues.
I feel like we've spent too much time talking about him.
I'm sorry. I will end on this, but I don't really think people are going around doing racial attacks, screaming MAGA country.
Yeah.
That just sounds
Or throwing
so
bleach on them.
orchestrated.
You know what? I think
sounds
that's what
In
it was.
hindsight.
Yeah.
In hindsight, though, we all believed it.
No,
Come on.
I believed it.
I believed it. I was definitely one of those
110%,
people.
I believed it. But I just felt like that was a weird thing. Like that
Yeah,
was a
same.
weird, like that's not even a thing.
It's like an extreme
like
measure.
that's not even a thing people are saying.
Well,
This
here's the
is
thing.
MAGA
If he would
country.
have said,
like what?
if he would have said that they just said told them some like racial slurs, I would have believed it, even like more
Right.
so, and I still would have been hurt. But he
Right.
went extreme.
Right.
He said racial slurs.
And
He
this-
said the bleach. He said the MAGA hat. He said he used everything in the book. Like there was a list made in this glass table that they used, and it's like what's every hateful thing that he said.
And wasn't a news outlet sent a note with like chopped up letters? Like from
no,
a
I'm
sorry.
magazine?
It
was
was
it?
just like-
I didn't read that part.
It was like
God.
we're gonna have an answer for every single question
No,
people
it's
may
like-
potentially ask.
It's like how to stage an attack for dummies. Like, come on, guys.
Ugh.
That I didn't see that part. If I saw that,
Yeah.
I'd feel super dumb.
No.
I'd feel super dumb if they rip magazines first
They
of all.
did.
Oh, who owns magazines? I mean, I do, but not that many. I use it on my
no, they bought
iPad.
the magazines to do it.
That's so stupid. That's so stupid.
This is MAGA country. I mean, I remember when
never
I
heard anybody
read
say
that,
this
I was
is
like, you
MAGA
know what? That
country.
just is like so
I mean,
weird.
but we're in LA. We're so conditioned. We're
True.
lucky. But
I don't know. I'm gonna upload
And then
this
I
with
was
this.
thinking, like, why didn't they kill him? And you're gonna go through the trouble of putting a noose
Cool.
around somebody's neck and bleach on their skin.
I like how you're literally transitioning from devil's advocate to this is super fake. I'm here for it.
No, but I'm just saying, if it was real, I feel like there would have been more damage.
Heck yeah, there would have, dude.
Like,
I'm
Like,
sorry.
gotten,
None
his
of this
face
adds
swallowed.
up, and I'm like, I guess what is it? The opposition on this
Yeah.
whole thing. Like I was definitely guilty for believing it, but now knowing
It's
the
not
little
even guilty.
tidbits of
Don't-
information, it doesn't
No.
make sense to me.
We were
It
fooled.
didn't sound
We were
right to
fooled,
begin
yeah.
with, and I'm just gonna transition out of that to just say that our girl Ariana Grande just dropped her album.
Loved
So
it.
good.
I'm so into it.
Me too. I've been
I loved
playing
it.
it on replay for
Seven
days and
Rings
days
is
and
kind
days.
of like my anthem
I
every
love
single
it.
morning.
I like ghosting.
And her promo
I
was
like
shot in our
NASA.
bathroom.
Oh yeah,
I
that was dope.
I know when you showed us, I was like, that is.
I don't
so
even remember
awesome.
where I was, but that was so sick. Like for those that don't know, we'll definitely have to put this up on a video or on Instagram. But it is literally the most well curated photo like first of all, I don't have good lipstick hands, right? I can't it takes some time for me to outline my lips and then fill it in with lipstick, let alone freaking get some text going on lipstick like I'm in the 60s on a mirror. That thing is
yeah, so it was
impressive.
A photo that was taken just for content for Apple Music to promote Ariana's album, and on the mirror it says, "What do you love?" And yes, it was shot in our bathroom here on Stanley Ave, and I couldn't be more proud.
Yo,
so,
that's nice, man.
I mean, I'm going for the coveter, full home spread.
Yeah.
I'm going after it.
Yes,
I think you
I
could do it.
love
I
it.
think this is
I think you could do it. It's a good start. I like that.
So we'll be
It's an
back
awesome
next
start.
week, and I'm sure Denise will have a lot to catch us up on. Tonight's All-Star Game is happening. You're going to be reporting live. Is there anything that you're super excited to see, or a player that you're excited to see?
Team West. Oh, by the way, I think it's so smart of Jordan to not have the Team West jerseys and Team East jerseys, because then it's the next day. I was so happy that they would go on sale. And now it's you have the team name, so it never goes on sale. So shout out to Jordan for taking all our money. But yeah, I'm excited. Team West, let's go, let's get it.
Did anybody see the photo of Steph? The little blast from the past?
Oh yes, he killed
That's
it.
so cute.
He looks exactly the same. I don't if you look at my picture, it's two different people here. It's
I
a
feel
stranger
like I look
child.
kind of
I look the same. I mean,
I don't
there's
look the same,
definitely a
guys.
photo of me in that corner, and I feel like I look the same.
Oh wait, I
Oh
got it.
yeah, it's a little far. Bring that over here. Well, no, I'll be the first to say I have no shame. I don't look the same. I definitely aged into my good looks. If I'd say.
I for sure had an ugly death
So
on stage.
cute.
I'm not gonna negate that. I started out cute, and then it was
No, you definitely look the same.
I started out cute, super cute.
You
and
could
then-
bring these and it's you could bring this pink shirt stripe with overalls back today
Oh yeah,
if you
totally.
wanted to,
It's
and the
retro
scrunchies in.
Yeah, so I went through the
I
ugly
mean, the whole
deathly
90s
stage.
vibe is back.
It's in.
So.
Steph, you looked good doing it. I thought it was a great photo. And it was perfect. The fact
So
that it was
good.
in North Carolina and his dad played for the Hornets.
Yeah.
And it was it just all worked.
It
for
brought
him.
it came in full circle. That was such a. I wonder how long it took to plan that. If it was a couple months ago, or if it was yo, in 3 years the All-Star Game's gonna be in Charlotte. Let's start planning for this. How you know what I'm saying? How
Right.
long did it take to plan that? He has
Yeah.
money, so maybe
Shout out to the Under
couple
Armour
weeks.
team for
Yeah.
if that was their due diligence and looking that
I
up.
like the Under Armour brand. I just not too big on the designs just yet. Not as cute yet. I could be,
Yeah.
but
No.
I'm not-
Wait, who did they just do a collab with?
They have a few athletes.
I don't know, but they may not have the styles on point yet, but their lineup is
Yeah, whoever.
sick. I mean, Anthony Joshua, Steph Curry. Who else do they have? Somebody that was also in the dunk contest yesterday.
Well, and they're just very good at just capturing the underdog athlete at a very early stage. So yeah, whoever is scouting them or just doing that part of things, you're right. They're doing a phenomenal job. Their designs might not be all the way there yet,
But they have the
you
star
don't buy
power.
things. Yeah, you don't. Sometimes, for the most part, you don't really buy things today because of the design. You buy it because of the storyline, because of the person, because of the athlete, because of someone that you feel you can relate to on a personal level. And I feel that's where they're winning for sure.
And also, their stuff serves a purpose. I feel right. It's
Yeah,
not-
tells a good
it's
story.
just-
Right.
Yeah.
Tells a
Yeah, it
really
goes
good
back
story.
to the underdog thing, the underdog mentality. People gravitate towards that, and they knew exactly what they were doing with that.
Yeah.
People buy into that.
Well, it's all about taking risks, and they took the best risks. That person I'm pretty sure they're great at blackjack, great at any casino game, great at betting, because there's people that just know.
There are people that are willing to risk it all for something that they believe in.
They
Yeah.
really believe in it to where it's
You have to, I think.
yeah, you do. Where it's come on,
Otherwise,
bud.
why do it if you don't believe in it?
I mean, it's so much easier said than done, though.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
of
saying?
course.
The fact that, and it's not even one person. It's an entire company. This one person, or for whatever it's, maybe it's a small collective, convinced an entire brand that yes, this athlete isn't doing great yet, but you know what? He's gonna be one of the top athletes in the next 5 years.
Right.
How do you invest in that?
You know what?
We
probably
could get the
happened-
best athlete
No,
now
what
or the best
probably
athlete in 5
happened,
years.
The guy probably had the suggestion with 3 other
Yeah.
players, and then
He
they
probably
they
had
all
good
blew
credibility
up.
too.
Yeah, and then
True.
they're like, okay, we're gonna bet on you now.
Yeah. I like it.
And I mean, another just nod to girl power, their senior vice president is a black woman who went to Harvard, Adrienne Lofton.
love
And
that.
Shout out to Adrienne Lofton, man.
yeah, head
that.
of all of the partnerships and campaigns that they do. So
We see, it's like
Women crush every day.
we should wear more Under Armour.
yeah, maybe that should be a thing. I'm not really into the like boycotting Gucci, like not because I don't
Yeah.
stand by it, but it's like it's a movement that
It's
people are
stupid.
going to like forget about a month from now, and they're going to buy
Ew.
Gucci, you know.
How
So
dumb
it's like
is Gucci,
I'd
though?
rather stand for something that's actually like going to last and
it's-
stick.
And honestly, like it's annoying that I feel like these companies need to have somebody
Diversity.
Not even that. Like, well, yes, every company should have diversity, but I feel like there needs to be somebody who is just in charge of like damage control. Oh, that item might have this.
That's the thing. There is somebody. There's people that sign off on these things, and it's like they know
the
what they're
person
doing, but they
signing
think
off
like
on this is this old French guy. Like, what is he part of? The LVMH or
Yeah,
whatever it's called.
yeah.
So
Damage control.
he's a French guy. He doesn't know. Like, honestly, I look at the sweater. Like, when it's blackface is next to it, yes, I think of it.
But when you
like
see the
without
sweater-
it, when I just see the sweater, I would have never put two and two together.
Right.
And I think whoever designed the sweater, I think it's an Italian guy. I don't think he's thinking, oh, that's blackface, you guys.
Right.
Let's make the sweater and mass produce it. Like, I
Right.
don't
So
think.
do you think people are reaching with the whole blackface thing?
I think we live in a super sensitive time. And I think that anything that comes across like it slightly embodies something, even if it wasn't, that's not the intent, even if it doesn't really look like it, but it could.
Do you just think that people
I feel
need to
like-
be more
I just think
conscious
people
of
are-
those things?
Well,
Wasn't the sweater out for like 6 months before some? It only
I'm not
takes
sure.
this one person to be like, "Oh, that's blackface," and then everybody's like, "Oh, how could they do that?" Like, you know what I mean?
it's a little tougher. I mean, it's difficult. It's such a difficult
It's a
conversation to
sweater
have. Well,
that
it's
has-
not, because this is a sweater. You know, it has no face in
It's a
it.
turtleneck.
Well, it is not just
A lot of ski gear have that
Yes,
thing.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. A lot of ski gear does have that, and it's because you want to show attention to it. But I mean, okay, like it's not too much of a reach for me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's not. It's really
Okay, because
not.
when you think about when you have holes in anything you have, it's normal to have a knitted sweater. Even it could be a sweater like this. And if they want to do something for design, anything that has a
Right.
hole,
Yeah, but they-
it
okay,
has
but
a
it's
different
all
color.
black.
No, but
and
listen,
big
okay,
lips.
this is
So
my
how are the
thing.
cuffs? How are
This is
the
my
cuffs?
thing. If you're gonna do something like
How are
this,
the cuffs?
I mean, it makes
No,
a difference. It's a
if you're
design
gonna do
element.
something like this, start off with pink. Start off with red. Like
Yeah.
ease people into it to where it's like this is the only color. Probably I don't know if it's available, but this is probably one of like two. Maybe white and black are available. But if you're gonna do something like this, you have to be conscious or like you said, sensitive to like what's going on in the world. To just think like people might be offended. So let's start with pink or blue or whatever color, and then add black later on.
I'll say this.
Okay,
we
was
are
this the
wait.
Gucci from the Gucci site, or is this like another company? That looks like an Essence.
All right, so I'll say this: we are in sensitive times. I'm really glad that you said that because we are absolutely in sensitive times. The comedy that happened in the early 2000s and 90s wasn't going to happen or fly in today's time. We're in a very sensitive era. With all that being said, this isn't too much of a reach for me. Like this is
It's
like
not.
yeah, you guys dropped the ball. Like
Yes, and I'm trying to defend them here. That's why I'm saying, like, if you're going to do something like this, you have to have the foresight to think, like,
Right.
people will be offended, so let's ease them into this and start with a different color.
right.
I mean, or just not do it. If it's already part of the discussion, then why even bother?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, on that, I think, there's so many, like, points and angles you could take it. But my thing is,
You guys dropped the ball.
be sensitive.
Be sensitive.
to people and like what's going on in times, regardless if it's an old man from Italy or wherever. Like I'm sure there's some people somewhere in the ladder who probably thought to themselves, this might ruffle a few feathers.
I think that they didn't. I think that they thought, oh, that it looks nothing like. I think that they're ignorant when it comes to American racial issues.
Well, it's
Because
not just
it's very,
American,
like,
think
how
about it.
we-
It's global.
But I think we are known for being hypersensitive about that kind of
for
stuff.
sure.
and we have the most recent history when it comes to like.
Well, we're also
slavery.
allowed to be the most vocal, so I feel like that's why we can come across as the most sensitive. If you go to like other
most
countries,
westernized countries are pretty vocal. Like Europe is super vocal.
true, but I don't feel like in the sense where it's like, okay,
But
this guy maybe wasn't thinking all the way racist, but he was definitely inspired by like African American culture and was like, oh, cool, let me go ahead and plant this. Not racist
I
at all.
don't think he
I don't think he was,
I don't think he
though.
No,
was.
I kind of
I
think
do
he was.
think
I
it's
think-
like a fashion thing, like you said, where it's like people just like probably raise a
The ski
turtleneck
mask,
or in
yeah.
ski,
Yeah.
or in skis, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, oh, like, well, instead of like let's just have a hole, let's just put lips on it. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like in that area. I don't think
I
that
think he
they
was trying-
intentionally did this. I just think that they
It
fucked
ju-
up
and
and
it
used
just
an
happened
all black
to be-
sweater.
Regardless,
with their
we can
thing.
agree that whoever not designed it but went ahead and passed it is an idiot.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have to say that.
I mean, they took it down.
True, they did.
They apologized. That's. I mean, what
They
more
did
can
as
you
much as
ask?
they could, I guess.
And then
Still not be. I'm like not doing Gucci, but that's such an easy protest to get on.
Right.
Screw Gucci! I'm not buying you anymore. You know,
I mean, if
Cheap
there's something
thing.
that I'm not gonna like, not buy something if I like it. You know what I mean? If
Right.
Just because it's Gucci, or I'm not gonna not wear the stuff that I already have that I spent
Facts.
a lot of money on.
But
just
it's
because of this.
It's easier to boycott Gucci.
Said, I think I'm gonna start supporting Under Armour just a little bit more.
Same.
I might have to like,
Starts with a sweater, maybe a pullover.
yeah. And
I
then,
could do that.
Start easy.
all right.
I like that.
Some running pants.
Tough, you know.